this is easy. If you put it on a wine and you don't feel that, I tell people, go to the next one. Give it 10, 15 seconds. Don't just keep doing it. If you don't feel, do the same thing you do with the TV. If you don't feel like, that feels good, it's not the right program for you in this moment. Go to the next one. You'll be amazed how easy it is to find exactly what program. And once you find something that's unwinding something, doesn't matter what you work on. Work on your shoulder. Work on your face. Work on your liver. Pick one thing every day to unwind. All you're doing is inviting things to gently go like this, until they reset. So I'm going to go through this one kind of fast because I'm going to try to sneak in one more protocol with y'all. We have protocols for the organs. We have protocols for the colon. We have lymph protocols. We have facial protocols. We have subtle alchemy protocols for moving energy along the spine. We have a lot of protocols. And I cover them in our different seminars we do. I send them out via email. You don't have to call in. You just hit play. You can watch the video or just listen to it on the conference call ones. They're easy. Yet once you get the basic gist, okay, once you get how to get that program that unwinds, you're good to go. Because anything you want to unwind, it's like plumbing, right? If you learn how to plumb, you can, I don't know if that's the right way to use that word, but you can basically go through the thing and clear it. If that doesn't work, you open it, you clear it, then you put it back together. Once you learn the plumbing, you can go into the house and do the plumbing. I tell people, this is not esoteric, it's not healing, we're unwinding things. It's physics. In the universe, you have three things. You have positive, negative, unwinding, and neutrality, Stillpoint. Every religion talks about the three things, right? The Trinity, the three gunas, yin, yang, wu, wei. Positive, negative, neutrality. Only we're not talking about it here. We are literally doing it. Positive contraction, unwinding, negative, neutrality, unwinding, neutral, Stillpoint. Any problem, to me, karma problem, situation that's contracted, we want to invite it to unwind. You let it keep unwinding, it eventually resets into Stillpoint. You get versed in that conversation with the universe, there is nothing here you can't welcome, dissolve. Big deal. You got some challenge, an issue, big deal. So what? You dig in, you unwind it till it resets back into the energy of the universe. That make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. And by the way, everything I do with this, in our largest seminars I cover extensively, we do them every 6 months or so in nice places like Cabos, Maui. We do great seminars. Everyone from our network, the leaders and emissaries, come. They're free. You just get there. We have great contests. You can win them, earn them really easily. And we cover 3 or 4 days of dissolving things. We cover some advanced laser protocols. We cover how to share lasers. I tell people, if the key to sharing this technology is put it on people. I tell people, I sell a lot of lasers. I could have, at that family thing, I could have sold a bunch of lasers if I wanted to. I said, I'm not going to go there. So the way I sell lasers is really easy. I unwind things. You get someone with chronic neck pain or some pain. In fact, one person at my cousin's wife, here's how she got a laser, right? She came back from a trip a couple years ago, and her neck on the bed at the trip locked up. So 3 days later, they were going to be considering surgery. So they called my folks. My dad's in the medical world, taught at Yale. So people check in. And my mom said, have you tried the laser? And they said, no. So my mom said she overnighted them my mom's laser. Well, she started using it. Like shortly thereafter, the whole thing unwound. So they got a laser. Well, now she just shared with me, not only do they have lasers, but their kids who are in college have lasers. They all love the laser. They gave it a name. They love it. And these are people. These are musicians. These people they're from New York area, and they're professional musicians. They're phenomenal musicians. All of them. They're all performing arts people. And so, but they love the laser. That's just one story of how you have an issue, a thing. You have the technology to unwind it. You unwind it. You have an immune thing. You unwind the thymus gland. You have a digestive thing. You unwind the colon. I tell you, the name of our website is I Love My Laser. And the only reason that name, it's a cheesy name, but everywhere we go, I heard it this weekend. Someone raised their laser at me. They're like, I love my laser. So years ago, we heard that phrase so often everywhere we went that we bought the name. We didn't use it for years because it was just too cheesy. But then we started using it, and it just it made sense because that's how many of us feel about our laser. We use it. Raise your hand again if you have a laser. Raise your hand if you use it like every day. Raise your hand if any health challenge you have, you go to the laser. Raise your hand if it often helps. All right, great. And that's everyone who has one. If I do a room in Western Canada with 150 people, 70 of them have lasers. They're all referring people. The reason that we have big networks in Canada and we keep going there, when someone gets a laser, if you have a community of people in your area and you put together even 5, 10, 15, 20 people, we'll come and do an introductory evening. and you start to get the ball rolling in an area. So the tailbone, I tell people there's new studies coming out around the sacrum. The sacrum, they're now saying when it's energized, it helps increase stem cell production. They don't know how. Direct correlation with the sacrum and stem cell production in the body. And when it's relaxed and at ease, your whole body is reset in gravity. A ton of people I work with that are up in their head, psychological issues, migraines, depression. It's kind of like a hose. If you hold a hose like this, where does it build up pressure? At the spigot. People that are all up in here, their sacrums aren't moving. So what do? I unwind the sacrum. If I had one place to work on most Americans, I'd go right down to the sacrum and the pubic bone. The pubic bone in the front is so here's how it works. This is a little bit more advanced. I'm going to kind of bake down a little more advanced cranial protocol. When the sacrum unwinds, that's the big sacral area at the base of the spine. When it unwinds, it's great. Yet there's a little thing here called the tailbone, coccyx. And I find like 90+% of people I work with, their tailbone's locked in. You ever heard of Hannah Kroger? Mm-hmm. Hannah used to tell everyone that their tailbone was tucked in. And she had this elaborate technique. You basically grabbed it and pulled it down, which nobody really liked to have done. But the problem is, if the tailbone is tucked under, how does the tailbone get tucked under? You either land on it at some point or shock, trauma, which happens to a lot of people here. Parent wasn't present, someone was too rough, kids were mean. Well, what happens? Like an animal, the tailbone gets tucked under. That's right. I tell everyone I work with, every day I unwind the sacrum, and then when you release the pubic bone, so it's like a clamshell, right? When the sacrum drops, the tailbone jams right up against the prostate. It shuts down the sciatica, digestion, emotional issues, the perineum, pelvic floor. I tell you, so many people have issues, they're like this, because the tailbone's, it's like having an emergency brake on. Well, you want to unwind that, you release the pubic bone, the tailbone drops right down. Straight out of osteopathy cranial work. So every day I do the sacrum a little bit, then I go right over the pubic bone. It drops down. It drops it down beautifully. You want to actualize your life. You want to be more empowered in your life. Get this every day. I do this. I do this every day. That's how important it is to me to keep this thing relaxed and drop down. Also good with anyone with knee issues. Also really good with anyone with spinal issues, stuff along the spine, digestive issues, financial issues, relationship issues. Not sure you came to the right planet issues. Basically, everybody should unwind their pubic bone every day. I've been joking. I've been saying I'm going to get a new website called unwindyourpubicbone.com. That's my newest. Because it is so important. I just can't even tell you how key it is. I tell you, when I find a place that feels really good, I stay there. I don't move. It's like, when you find something, I could do a session and I get to a point and it feels really good. And like 10 minutes later, I come out of it and I'm like, whoa. Then I'm done with the session. Don't be too concerned about going. The key is to find that place every day where your system goes from here and the whole thing dissolves. For me today, this is that point. As I'm doing this, if you all weren't here, I'd zip out for a little bit into Stillpoint. So that is the occipital ridge. This is particularly an important point for anyone with GI tract issues. Colitis, irritable bowel, constipation, Crohn's. Anyone, the vagus nerve traces the GI tract. Okay, let me explain what this point does because I didn't touch on it before. The reason this point's so key, this is probably like the most important point for most people I work with. Your occipital ridge is what we're working on here between the ears. If the occipital ridge, what they found is that when people get tense, adrenaline, the TMJ gets tight. When the TMJ gets tight, it clamps the occipital ridge down. The vagus nerve is what slips out of the occipital ridge. And the vagus nerve, it means the wanderer. It's the nerve that wanders around your body. It literally governs your breathing, your digestion. It governs your organs, your pulses. It governs your circulation. It governs your heart. It literally is the conductor of the symphony of your physiology. So if the TMJ gets tight, it locks up the occipital ridge, which is why people say when they get stressed, the heart shuts down, breathing shuts down, digestion shuts down, all key vagal nerve systems. So I just cannot say enough. There are so many situations I work with. People come to me with digestive issues, with all sorts of heart situations. Their vagus nerve is totally locked up. Post-stroke, absolutely. I cannot say enough how important it is to keep this occipital ridge relaxed and at ease. I just changed to cohere, by the way, something I never do on the occipital ridge, but I just did it. I just felt like putting it on for a moment, and it feels really good. But trust your sense. If you try something, See how it feels. You know, don't only do what I do. Inside your cranium is this butterfly-shaped amazing thing called the sphenoid, and it moves on its own. It goes like this. I tell people your pineal and your pituitary glands sit on the sphenoid. So if your brain is thinking a lot, it shuts down the sphenoid. If you had a hit or you get stressed, shuts. So many people I work with, their sphenoid doesn't move. Their glands start to solidify. You have a rough day, I tell people, go right to the sphenoid. Doesn't that feel good? Yes. This is a powerful area. You unwind your sphenoid every day for a few months, I tell you, you will notice a huge shift in your reality. Your glands will start to soften and loosen up. You'll sleep more, your body will be relaxed. You don't get, flexibility on planet Earth, not being all pulled into stuff is key. The sphenoid is key. This is based out of cranial work and yoga. When yogis meditate, the sphenoid vibrates. It's like an instrument. It then tunes and different glands release different compounds. You want to keep the instrument of your existence relaxed and at ease. Keep your adrenals unwound, keep your sacrum relaxed, your vagus nerve open, and your sphenoid resonating with the cosmos. All right, good. All right, the last thing I want to show you with the laser, I'm going to go on to quantum. And this is the last thing I want everyone to do. We call this scanning. This is a little bit more advanced. Here's what I want you to do. Everyone take a breath, drop in still point. Now move the laser gently around your field. The key to this is do not just go very gentle. Don't be concerned about anybody else. Close your eyes. And stop only when you feel a shift. Like right there, I took a breath. I took a sigh. I tell people this is like going through your garden with a rake. You can tell when there's a weed or there's a rock because it feels different. When I go around, I'm scanning. I'm looking for any blockages, any holes, anything that when my body takes a breath, starts to unwind, decompress. This is how we clear the field. Every day. We have one person who's an acupuncturist. He's a big direct selling person too. He works with thermography equipment in Santa Cruz. He measures people's thermography where there's hot spots, and then they laser, and you can unwind the hot spots. The laser, and then they retake another picture. The hot spots are gone. So when I do this, to me, I'm literally looking around for any areas in the body that might be, this is like a preventative protocol. Any areas in the body that might be about to have some issues, I'm looking to unwind them before they become issues. All right, good. Now I go around the outside of the body, literally. I go above. After I do this, I point the laser out and I go literally around. Cut any cords, any blockages. I tell you, if you don't do this every day, if you simply keep your field more open and expanded, I tell you, a lot of situations and things that you're normally dealing with will naturally thread out. Isn't that nice? Yes. Isn't that great? It's so easy. Any person you bring me unwinds. I don't need to have someone with past life experiences to unwind them. Everybody unwinds. Men, women, elderly, young. Every person I work unwinds the same.